Welcome to all of my students in today's mentoring session. Today is 12th of November, 9:32 p.m. And as usual, first we'll be doing the weekly sectoral analysis. And once that is done, then I'll be start taking your questions for the positional and the swing trading setup. So we'll be starting with the monthly time frame of Nifty spot. I think many of you don't need to be told that it is in an uptrend. We have a shooting star in the previous month basically, and what you can also see that RSI is well above 70, which means it is in the overbought level basically. All right, but yes, trend is certainly up. If I look at the weekly chart, we can see we had a negative divergence over here in RSI, but I had also told you in the last week that this negative divergence is not very strong, but yes, we cannot just ignore it. And we do have a bullish harami candle pattern over here, and this pattern has come on the back of a very strong support. Generally speaking, whenever the previous swing is big in terms of length, then the 23.6% acts as a very good support. Over here, I believe if you compare this particular swing to the previous one, it is not very big, but still I think prices are respecting this particular Fibonacci retracement. If you look at the daily chart, what we can see is prices have bounced from this particular support from 78.6. In the daily chart, I do not consider it as a very strong support. All right. In the daily chart, it is not a very strong support, but if you take this swing, then the entire game changes. Now, you can see that prices have closed below, but again, they took the support of this candlestick cluster basically, which is over here, and prices are trying to bounce. And if you see, especially this particular candle, this small hammer sort of candle, this is not a hammer, looks like a hammer because the wick of this candle is not twice or thrice the size of its real body. So you can see this has closed almost, you can see almost near the Fibonacci retracement. So this is a hint that market is respecting this particular Fibonacci retracement. The trend is, well, yes, it is up, no doubt about that. But according to me, until and unless we do not surpass 18,200 to 18,300 on a closing basis, at least, I don't think there'll be a very large rally. Chances are there we could head higher, but we should be extremely cautious about it. Why? I'll tell you. If I retrace this particular swing, you will see that we are at a resistance. There's a candlestick cluster over here. All right. There is some sort of candlestick cluster which is not allowing the prices to go higher. That is why when the prices did go higher from this first swing, small swing, immediately we came down, and then we took the support of this particular level, 17,847 something or 17,850, and then we are bouncing back again. So generally when markets are in an uptrend, but prices are between support and resistance, generally speaking, trading is not very, very easy. You have to be careful. The trend is up. Yes, I'm not denying that, but you will need to wait patiently for the prices to close above 18,200 or at least 18,300 to see a very big rally. All right. If that happens, then we could possibly test even 18,600 or maybe even higher. All right. So let's wait and watch what happens over here first of all. Banking index. Now, first I'll go to the monthly time frame as usual. Monthly time frame, again, it is in an uptrend. We can see a shooting star over here. Yes, we do have selling pressure at higher levels, but do not forget that we have cooled off quite a bit. So that particular danger is not there. In the weekly time frame, we do have a bullish harami sort of pattern over here, but after that prices have again closed down rather than going up. So that is a bummer. Basically, we have to wait and watch what happens. And over here, what I can see, prices are basically completely flat. I think there is no trend right now. Neither the trend is down, neither the trend is up. I feel completely the trend is flat, but it is taking support. I'll just highlight it for all of you. It is taking support from this particular cluster over here, basically. this particular cluster is helping the prices to bounce back. You can see from this particular level, 38,447, 38,500. There 450, sorry, there was a massive bounce back in the short term. Again, prices came down, and today, if you remember, not today, yesterday basically, we did hit the lows of 38,356. Again, we did go higher, and even today prices have bounced back. And in fact, today this is not a very large candle, but this is still a dragonfly doji basically, and dragonfly dojis are one of the most bullish candles in banking pack. So if there is a bounce back from here, I'm not saying there will be or there should be, but in case if there is a bounce back, then 40,000 to 40,400, this entire price band is going to give a very, very strong resistance to the price. Once we start trading above 39,700, 39,800, we'll start seeing some sort of momentum coming up in banking index. But if you're speaking of a very big, large positional rally, all right, I'm speaking of a positional rally, not just a short-term bounce back of a couple hundred points or maybe 300-400 points. I'm speaking of a bigger rally. For that, prices need to close above 40,400 for 1 or 2 days and sustain. Then maybe we could see a decent rally coming up, right? Private banking index, I don't think I need to repeat, because almost the index are looking very, very similar. Only thing is, in the private banking index, what has happened in comparison to the bank Nifty, bank Nifty has been able to, respect this particular support and bounce back. But in private banking index, what has happened, it closed below it and then it went up. And the reason for that is, you must have seen many of the private banking stocks have taken a beaten from the higher levels. But still, in case if prices start heading higher, then which are those stocks? According to me, it is, first is the Kotak Bank. According to me, it is still flat. There is no trend over here. It needs to head higher. All right, it needs to head higher, close above both the moving averages, and we need to see some sort of trend line breakout in the RSI coming up over here. Then we can say, yes, this particular stock is showing strength. It does have potential in comparison to all other stocks. And the second one is ICICI Bank, but I believe somehow it needs to consolidate little bit more before it starts going higher. Currently there is no buy signal over here. Currently it is not a buy. Only thing is, it has been able to close this particular gap. After closing, does it go down or does it consolidate? Does it give a fresh breakout? That is all needs to be seen. Wait patiently as far as possible and just wait and watch what happens. If the prices act according to your anticipation, only then go and enter a trade. Otherwise not. PSU Bank. PSU Bank, if you look, this is not a close of the month, so we cannot take this particular candle into consideration, but it's showing some sort of selling pressure has come up. And why has that happened? Let's check the monthly time frame chart. All right, there is no such resistance over here. So overall, I think the trend is still up in PSU banks. Maybe some sort of consolidation here and there is possible, but overall state of trend is still strong. There could be little bit consolidation here and there, but overall trend is still up. No doubt about that. Metal pack, if you see this particular sort of uptrending channel, it was looking as if the stocks could head higher from here. The metal stocks, especially one was Jindal Steel and Power, but unfortunately that particular stock did not rally properly. And if you see, even after bouncing back from here, prices are completely sideways. So as of now, I'm not interested at all in metal pack. I need to wait, watch, and see what happens. Some sort of breakout, some sort of movement I need. Before that, I don't want to commit to any of the stocks over here. Auto pack. Now, auto pack is little bit tricky. In the monthly time frame, you can see trend is up, and this particular wick has happened just because of this all-time high, which has given some sort of selling pressure. But other than that, things are okay. In the weekly time frame, prices are almost near the Fibonacci extension. In fact, they are above it. They are above it. But if you see this candle properly, this is a very small shooting star, not a very big or massive one. Small shooting star means some sort of selling pressure is there over here, and you need to be little bit more careful before committing into any trades. Overall trend is still up, no doubt about that. And if you want to keep watch on the stocks, then the first one would be obviously Tata Motors. Currently, the stock is still consolidating after this very big rally. So as of now, there is no new trade in it. Obviously, we need to wait and watch for any fresh guidance by the price itself. First, I think the prices need to, in fact, consolidate a lot or maybe correct, fill this gap. And after that, if there is a rally or something, then we can go for this particular stock. As of now, you can just keep it in your watch list. Second one, which I feel is showing strength, is Ashok Leyland. Again, saying don't just commit to the stock, don't just jump into the stock, because if you see, there is some sort of resistance which has come up over here. Some sort of consolidation is possible in the stock. Maybe a short-term dip also might occur. But if after the dip, after the consolidation is over, if you get a new fresh breakout, maybe you can go for it. Finance. Financial services, first we'll check the Fibonacci extension. What you can see, we are exactly at the resistance. We are just little bit above it, but just a marginal close above this. And in fact, this is a monthly time frame, so we cannot even count that. So just a marginal price above it cannot be counted, because many times it has happened in the history, and even I have shared with all of you that multiple times prices can close above the extension and again come down. So you need to be a little bit careful about that. And yes, I can say one thing from the weekly chart. Things are looking okay. You can see prices are taking support over here. This is a spinning top. So this is a bullish harami formation, basically. And after this bullish harami, we do have a spinning top again. So basically, overall things are okay, but the index itself is confused. It doesn't know what it wants to do. And according to me, if the prices start heading higher, all right, currently the trend is flat. So in case if the prices start heading higher, it has taken support from this previous high, basically. If I just keep my cursor over here, you will understand why the prices have bounced back, just because of this previous high. So if the prices start moving, heading higher, maybe above 19,300 or 19,400, then probably you will see some sort of momentum coming up in this particular sector. IT pack. IT pack, I think all of you know since a long time, it is extremely overstretched, and I don't need to repeat again and again until and unless there is some very big change. It is overstretched, still in an uptrend. Today, IT pack has shown some promise, and even on this particular day, some sort of pullback did happen. But today's day was especially looking good. But in this sector, you have to be very, very systematic before you do anything. I can see only two stocks as of now. First is Infosys, which is looking pretty decent. I think I had shared with all of you in the mentoring group that if the IT pack starts moving, you will see Infosys outperforming. And second one, according to me, is Tech Mahindra. Tech Mahindra is looking okay. If it starts heading higher, then probably you'll see some sort of momentum picking up in this stock. Pharma sector, again, I'm absolutely not interested, because in the weekly chart, it is completely flat, you can just see sideways movement since a lot of weeks. And as of now, I'm not interested. And also in the daily chart, thankfully, it has taken support due to this particular thing, which has been extended on the downside. Now, this is a 127.20% extension. Not all the times, but maybe 3 to 4 times out of 10 times, if there is a bounce from this particular extension, it is pretty large. So if this thing happens, then maybe in the next couple of weeks, we'll start seeing prices reacting in a different way. So maybe that point of time, we'll conclude something about this index. But as of now, again saying not interested. But one stock which is showing promise in the sense which is not underperforming like other stocks is Sun Pharma. Outperforming can also happen by not coming down. For outperformance, you just don't need to go higher and higher every day. If the other stocks of the same index are coming down, and if you just stand there, then when the actual all the stock starts moving up, maybe the stock which has fallen less will be the stock which will be going higher, much higher in the first place. So you need to understand that. FMCG pack, again saying I will not be interested much as of now. FMCG pack, you can see there is a shooting star and there is a big red candle over here. All right. Now here, the interesting part is, yes, we are taking support from this particular level. This is a stronger support according to me, but nevertheless, it's all dependent on price where it wants to take support from. We are no one to say that. As of now, the trend is completely flat. Only thing is it is at support in the weekly chart, and in the daily chart, it is taking support from the extension, this particular extension, but it is not respecting it properly. You can see prices are going up and down from here, but this particular level is acting like a magnet. Continuously prices are, trading around it basically. So yes, prices are at support, but we need to see prices moving higher. Maybe it can also happen that it can consolidate for maybe few days or maybe couple of weeks and then it starts moving higher. You can keep watch on this sector, but as of now, I will not commit anything to this particular sector. I'll not commit my money over here. I'll wait. All right. Realty sector, you can clearly see it is one of the leading sectors as of now. But in case if you have any positional trades, we are inching near the resistance. If you remember, I had warned all of you about the financial sector maybe a few weeks back that whenever we hit the resistance, there will be some sort of short-term profit booking. So we are inching towards that particular resistance over here too. But as of now, there seems to be no worry. Trend is up and it is very, very strong. And pick of the stocks, I think there are many stocks which are outperforming. Pick of the stocks as of now also remains DLF. Consumption sector, according to me, it is taking support from this particular level, according to me, which is okay. But if you see this particular candle, this is making me uncomfortable. And generally, when there is a very large candle, 50%, basically the 50% mark generally works as a resistance. So you need to be a little bit careful about this index. If the candle is extremely large in size, the 50% midway of that candle itself will work as a resistance. And this is a monthly chart and this candle is still not complete. So we cannot comment anything on that. And coming on the daily chart, yes, prices are heading higher. But again, as I said, we will need to see whether that candle closes above the midway of that particular candle or not. And according to me, the daily chart resistance seems to be somewhere around 7,400 or maybe even 7,450. So in case if we see prices moving higher than 7,400, 7,450, maybe then some sort of short-term momentum will be built up in the consumption index. Mid cap is looking pretty strong. You can see the base is looking pretty strong, but before dwelling into that, I'll also check the weekly chart. Weekly chart, you can see this is a pretty big swing. And in this big swing, obviously 23.6% Fibonacci retracement is going to work as a strong support, which it has. And you can see nice sort of base has been made up. You can see this is a high wave candle and this high wave candle came at a very good point and now the prices are heading higher. So yes, you can look into mid cap for swing trades. And overall, if you look at the market overall, you have to be very, very systematic. You have to be very, very prepared in your trades. This is not a time to go aggressive. Yes, the trend is up, but you cannot be aggressive. because in Nifty especially, we are trading between support and resistance. Yesterday also, when I shared the video of Nifty short-term view, what was my heading? Locked in a range. So even right now, we are still locked in a range. And currently, I'm talking about the positional view, not the short-term view. So even talking about the positional view, we need to close above 18,200 or 18,300 for a pretty large move. You can start selecting your stocks, but be very, very strategic, and then, your method should be very, very proper. Just don't jump into a stock because you see suddenly there is momentum, suddenly everything is going up, and you will say this particular stock is looking very good and the momentum is building up, I'll just go and buy it. No, first see the index, then see whether that particular stock is currently acting as a leader in that pack or not. If it is not a leader, if it is a laggard, don't go into that. Only pick the leaders currently in that particular sectoral indices right now. All right. Thank you so much. And now I'll be taking your questions one by one. Just give me a moment.